What's going on? You're watching NFL Daily. Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports. And coming up here on today's show, I'm going to look at the latest NFL trade rumors around three big-name players, two wide receivers and a running back, and then ultimately try to give you my honest opinion on where are some of the top destinations and if they will be traded, and if they are traded, what teams they could be playing for. So DeAndre Hopkins, Courtland Sutton, and Austin Ekeler are the three main players that we're going to be looking at here. Let's kick it off, though, first with Nuke Hopkins, and there's been reports circulating around the Arizona Cardinals star wide receiver that, let's face it, the Cardinals are willing to move on from him. Now, some NFL teams might view this as a salary cap dump, though it sounds like Arizona does think that he still has a lot of value. Jeremy Fowler reported that Arizona is looking for at least a second-round pick, though it was also reported last week that there's a lot of NFL teams out there that, because they view this as a salary cap dump with the injury around Kyler Murray, that teams are probably not going to be willing to give up all that much. I mean, look what the Dallas Cowboys just did for Brandon Cooks. It wouldn't surprise me if Arizona doesn't get the offer they want, and then you end up seeing them dump away DeAndre for a lot less. But we do have to be able to face the fact this is going to be a negotiation battle, and there are going to be plenty of teams that have interest in Hopkins. It's just simply going to come down to how much does it cost necessarily in terms of draft capital, because realistically, when you look at his contract, for the type of player that he can be, I mean, there's not many NFL stars out there where I'd make a legitimate argument. I'd say he's a top 10 wide receiver still. Would it surprise anyone if he showed up next year and put up, 1,400 yards, 10 touchdowns? It wouldn't surprise me if he was in the right scenario. So when I think of what type of teams would make this move, teams that are willing to compete, Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs. Then I'm also thinking about teams that have no wide receivers whatsoever, the Tennessee Titans. The Carolina Panthers have been very aggressive, and I would imagine they're going to take a QB at number one. DeAndre would be probably a nice little toy to have there for your new rookie. And then the Baltimore Ravens, because I just think DeAndre would fit, though the latest trade rumors around Lamar Jackson sounds like Lamar wants out. If I'm Baltimore, I say, do you want DeAndre? Is that going to make you stay? So now it's your opportunity here. Go down in the comments and predict this for me, because we've had a lot of questions on this show with our live mailbags and whatnot around DeAndre. I'm actually going to make this the pinned comment on today's show. So while you're getting hit with that YouTube ad break, I want you to scroll on down, look into your crystal balls, and tell me where DeAndre Hopkins is going to play next season. My prediction is the Buffalo Bills. If you're Buffalo, yes, you have a lot of star-studded talent, no doubt about it. But if you're Allen, if you're the Bills, you got to be looking at the Kansas City Chiefs and like, how the hell do we get by these guys? And it would not surprise me whatsoever if they try to go even more all in. It was unfortunate that Von Miller ended up getting hurt last season. You got the Bengals. You got Kansas City. To me, like, that's where this entire AFC is going to run through. And if you add Hopkins, yes, it makes the offense even scarier. Then there's also reports out there that Buffalo doesn't want Josh Allen to run nearly as much, which I get. He's an incredible athlete. He's a big, strong guy. You know how it's an easy way to make sure Josh Allen doesn't run as much? Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins. Good luck stopping that combo. When you look at the last 4 seasons for DeAndre, he's had some injuries. He's also had a suspension. But I know deep down that if he plays 16, 17 games, in my book, that is a lock for nearly 100 catches. That is a lock for 1,400 yards. And I'll tell you what, you put him with Buffalo's offense, I'd almost be willing to bet that's 100, 1,400, and 10 touchdowns. That seems like it's pretty well worth it to me. If you haven't already, I want you to join our Chat Sports family here. We are a group of dudes just being dudes, but we also like to cover NFL news. We like covering NFL rumors, and if a DeAndre Hopkins trade goes down, I'm old enough to remember here because I'm one of the OGs here at Chat Sports. Shout out to Tom as well. When DeAndre first got traded from Houston to Arizona, our boss, Brett, I'm pretty sure he about shit out another kid because that's how crazy it was. We're going to celebrate. We'd probably knock back some beer bongs, and I know we'd have a hell of a time. I don't think you want to miss it. So hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Let's go to the next wide receiver here for the latest trade rumors. It's Courtland Sutton. Sutton, much like his teammate Jerry Jeudy, they have been linked to plenty of trade rumors last offseason, during the season, this season or this offseason. I mean, it is swirling around, no doubt about it. And a lot of times when you bring in a new head coach, sometimes that new head coach wants to bring in his own dudes, which maybe Sean Payton wants to do that. Sutton does have 3 years left on his deal, but he's coming off a little bit of a bad season. I'll admit, I drafted Courtland Sutton in every single one of my fantasy leagues this past season. You know why? Because I was like, Sutton's been great with Denver. Well, now you're adding Russell Wilson. What could possibly go wrong? Russell Wilson stunk. But if you want to get the best out of Wilson, I still think that you need your 6'4", 215-pound athletic wide receiver. Let's say, though, Denver's like, okay, we're going to get rid of him. These are the top 5 teams I think could potentially look at Courtland. You're going to see a lot similar teams compared to DeAndre. Why? Both players are freak athletes. Both players are big potential number 1 receivers. So my question to you is this. Where will Courtland Sutton play this upcoming season? Spoiler alert, I don't have him going to Buffalo because this might surprise you. If Buffalo trades for DeAndre, I don't see them trading for Courtland Sutton. Before I give you my answer, I know that we're doing NFL trade rumors here. We've been covering NFL free agency like crazy. But we also have an NFL draft channel that if you're like a diehard guy looking for the top scouting reports, you're somebody looking for mock drafts, take a second, look at that link down below, youtube.com/chatnfl. It's going to be available for you guys in the comments and in the description of today's video. If you're just looking to get more NFL draft content, subscribe. If you don't like it after a week, you can unsubscribe. It's 100% free. You got nothing to lose. The only thing you can do is actually gain some knowledge around that draft because a lot of players, man. A lot of players. So where's Courtland Sutton going to get traded? Well, guess what? I actually don't have him getting traded at all. I am staying here in Denver. Sean Payton over the weekend shut down a lot of trade rumors around Sutton, around Jerry Jeudy, and call me what you want. I'm maybe a new age type of dude when it comes to players on social media. If I see Sutton posting a picture on his IG story with Jerry Jeudy and they're basically saying, like, let's run it back, I do think that speaks volumes. And let's face it also, Sean Payton wants to build a winning roster. He's not going there. He did not go to Denver to let's tank for a year or two and then rebuild. No, they're trying to win right now with Russell Wilson, and he knows deep down he's going to need Courtland Sutton to do that. So for that reason, Sutton is staying in Mile High. Let's go to the running back position now here on NFL Daily. And we're going to look at Austin Ekeler. Ekeler wants a new contract. I'm not necessarily sure the Chargers want to give a running back a brand new deal, considering the fact that I believe they're about to give Justin Herbert $50 million per year. So the Chargers granted Ekeler permission to seek a trade, and Ekeler has already come out and said that it's not necessarily that he wants to be traded, but he is looking because, let's face it, whether you're an NFL player, whether you're doing your regular 9-to-5 job, whether you're doing whatever, you want to be well-respected, you want to be appreciated, and Ekeler has flat out already said this offseason, when you look at what he contributes to this Chargers offense, he deserves to get paid more. And I don't blame him whatsoever. He is a do-it-all running back, and every running back should be wanted to pay more. The problem is they're running backs, and sometimes NFL teams don't value that position very highly. So in terms of some of the top destinations out there, I tried to throw out some teams looking for a new running back, but also some teams that maybe have some running back drama. I didn't put on the Bengals, which it was really close. If the whole Joe Mixon thing gets a little bit shakier, if they end up releasing him, the Bengals definitely deserve to be on this list. I got the Detroit Lions, the Miami Dolphins, the Saints, Chicago Bears, and then the Philadelphia Eagles. So if you haven't caught on the theme of this show, I mean, it's Monday, guys. You got to pick up the pace here a little bit. Where will Austin Ekeler be playing football this upcoming season? Spoiler alert, I don't have him sticking with the Los Angeles Chargers. In fact, I have him going to the Chicago Bears. The Bears still have the most cap space in the NFL. And I actually like Chicago, and I like what they have done this offseason, and I actually like their 2 running backs. I'm a big fan of Khalil Herbert, and I like Deonta Foreman. Foreman, power back. Herbert, I do think if you give him a little bit more opportunity, he can end up being a solid guy. However, though, if you have the opportunity to add Ekeler, and I do think right now in the NFC North, there's some blood in the water. If Aaron Rodgers isn't there in Green Bay anymore, you got to be thinking we're getting ready to go in, all in. And then on top of that, if I'm the Bears, I want to make sure that I give everything humanly possible to Justin Fields. Did you already go get DJ Moore? Awesome. Having a pass-catching running back like Ekeler, that would almost be, I feel like, every young quarterback's dream. Last season for the Chargers, he had 107 catches. The year before that, 70 receptions. The year before that, 54. The year before that, 92. If you have a back who can run, who can catch the football, that also opens up a lot of running lanes for Fields, which then is going to open up more for your passing game. If I was Chicago and I wanted to go all in, and it kind of seems like they're not afraid to get ballsy this year, I have them trading for Ekeler. So here are my trade predictions on today's show. I got DeAndre Hopkins going to the Buffalo Bills. Courtland Sutton is going to be staying with the Denver Broncos. And then Austin Ekeler is going to be the star running back of the Chicago Bears.